Don't move. Don't sell your house.
Don't move, don't sell your house. Donald Trump made a lot of big promises to American manufacturing workers during his campaign, and as you just saw, in Ohio in 2017. Well, that hasn't worked out so well. This week, the livelihoods of hundreds of workers at a General Motors plant in Lordstown, Ohio, fell into limbo when General Motors closed the last assembly plant that manufactures the Chevy Cruze. The plant produced cars for more than 50 years, and its closure is a huge blow to Lordstown. Closing that plant will eliminate nearly 1,700 hourly jobs. Joining me now is Heather McGee, MSNBC political contributor, and Sarah Kendzior, author of The View from Flyover Country. And Heather, welcome to the show. I've been wanting to talk to you on the show for a long time. When these kind of things happen, you think about the plant that's closing. But can you talk a little bit more about what that does to the town?
Absolutely. In towns like this, the entire community relies on those jobs, right? It's the suppliers, the other companies that are supplying the parts for the Cruze, but it's also, the waiters and waitresses at the restaurants where these people are taking their, their drinks and meals after. It's the schools that are going to suddenly see this drop in tax money. And I think it's a really important point right now that this didn't have to happen. This didn't have to happen. We didn't have to have manufacturing hollow out in this country. We didn't have to have what Donald Trump stood on that stump and said be a lie. There were policies from the tax cuts, which showed GM that they can pocket more money without having to keep innovating and building, to the fact that the Chevy Cruze was a fuel-efficient car, which if we were doing what we needed to do in this country, instead of reversing the fuel economy standards to make sure that we aren't polluting ourselves to death, if those were still in place instead of the president signaling that he wanted to repeal them, the Cruze would still be a competitive car. Yeah. NAFTA. He said so much about what he was going to do to bring the jobs back and renegotiate NAFTA. Why is it that this plant is still going to move to Mexico? These jobs
after
are still
he supposedly renegotiated it.
Exactly.
And Sarah Kendzior, first of all, there's the question of whether or not it's even realistic for any politician to promise to be able to save manufacturing jobs in a global economy when that's just not necessarily realistic, or saying immigrants are the problem rather than automation. But I wonder about the fact that we have had these kinds of jobs saved before. And the way you do it is you give the companies money, right? I mean, during the Bush and Obama administrations, they just gave the auto industry a lot of money to save them. You're having Republican governors say we're going to save the coal industry, which is dying, by just handing them money. Why is it that when it comes down to these individual people's jobs, these people that make the Chevy Cruze, that is not the answer?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he doesn't care. Trump doesn't care. He shouldn't have made those promises. He doesn't see people as people. He doesn't see them as workers. He sees them as props. And unfortunately, the same appears to be true about General Motors. They don't have any kind of concern for these workers, who have given up their lives for this company. And this very small community, Lordstown is a small place that relies on, these kind of economic incentives. And, this long-term problem. This is a problem that you certainly see going all the way back to the Reagan era, the decimation of unions, the loss of the manufacturing industry. But I think what we see now is a kind of openly predatory nature that we haven't before. We see Trump and his cohort taking the country apart, selling it for parts, without any kind of thought as to, the devastation that they're incurring. They prey on people's pain like a vulture, and unfortunately, I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Let me let the audience hear from a couple of these assembly plant workers. This is a gentleman named David Green, and he's talking about what losing this plant is going to do to his community. Take a listen.
The village of Lordstown itself obviously is going to be in trouble. This whole valley has relied on General Motors Lordstown. It's kind of like the backbone. I truly believe that they'll have an ability to land some product here in Lordstown for our workers, for their families, for this community. I mean, the alternative just isn't going to be good. The alternative is no work comes here, and everybody has to leave.
I mean, Heather, we're talking about 1,700 hourly jobs, but 3,000 union jobs lost just since 2017. I know that during the campaign, we took our show out to Pennsylvania and Ohio and talked to some steel workers who were saying, all we have now is dollar stores in our community. Yeah. Is there an actual answer to the loss of manufacturing jobs when the pull of cheap labor overseas is real?
Right. There is an answer, and one of the most exciting answers that we've heard in a long time is the Green New Deal. Right? This is a perfect example of where we need industrial policy this morning. That's really, in this country, that's really what the Green New Deal is. It's saying, you know what, we have a goal. We want to reduce climate emissions so that we can make sure that the planet is inhabitable for ourselves and our children.
Can you give us some specifics? Because what does that mean exactly? What would the Green New Deal do for this specific industry?
We should be, as we invented the electric car in this country, we should be the world leader in manufacturing electric cars. And, you know, Tesla has shown that trying to do that outside of the manufacturing base of the Midwest, where there's so much embedded skill and talent and know-how on the floor, is very, very difficult. This actual plant should be the hub of the new, not only the cars, but the new high-speed rail and the things that are made to make sure that we have fuel efficiency in this country, that we are not polluting ourselves into an uninhabitable Earth. And so there's no reason why the retrofitting of buildings all across the country, the mass transit that needs to be invested in, all of that needs hard skills, the construction skills that right now are being left to atrophy. And I just want to make another point, that this is not the case of the bailouts as it was, you know, in 2008. GM is doing extraordinarily well. They don't need a bailout right now. They made $12 billion in profits last year. They spent $14 billion buying back their own stock on the market to inflate their stock price, which is something that used to be illegal and should be again.
Yeah.
This is a choice to just say we would rather pay lower wages, non-union wages, and that choice, I think, should not be something that policy is pressing them to be able to do.
Yeah, let me really quickly play at one of those steelworkers we talked to, and this was in Lorain, Ohio, not that far from Lordstown, and we talked to them back in 2016.
When I grew up, I thought it was a place that was going to be there forever. When I personally started in the plant, we had 8,300 people working.
We went from manufacturing to dollar stores.
Yeah.
That's the jobs in dollar stores.
You know, Sarah, in the place where you live, is there a possibility that people could just be retrained to build the future, to build electric cars, to build high-speed rail? You know, that is what the New Deal was the first time, was marshaling government resources, people back to work in industries that could be helpful to the country. Is there any hope out there that that's what's going to happen?
Yes, absolutely, if people are willing to do it. You know, people go on and on about this skills gap, but there's not a skills gap. There's a morality gap. There's a refusal to offer on-the-job training. There's an insistence that people go and get expensive credentials and expensive degrees for jobs that shouldn't really require them. You know, there hasn't been this magical shift in people's intellect or ability. It used to be you could enter a job on the ground floor in a plant, you know, like the Chevy plant in Lordstown, and work your way up and learn those skills there. And I don't see why they can't do that. You know, with new kinds of jobs, you know, with jobs, as was said, related to the Green New Deal, with other types, you know, of cars. And that is something that people, you know, they owe these workers that, you know, it's cruel, it's unnecessary, and it can be fixed if people have the will.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sarah Kinsey. Or Heather, can you come back? I want to talk the Green New Deal in like a lot greater detail. So definitely want to have you come back and do that. Thank you both very much. Really appreciate it. And coming up in our next hour, we're going to do a special 1-hour edition of AM Joy. We're going to devote it to all the potential crimes of one Donald J. Trump. So brew yourself some coffee, and we'll be right back.
It's not just the 3,000 jobs we're losing. It's close to 17,000 jobs that are attached to us. My brother works at Magna, which is our seating. He's losing his job. He doesn't know what he's going to do. Everyone that has any seniority within the plant have to make the toughest decisions of their life. Do they transfer, which we have the right to transfer, which is great, and do they leave their family behind?